Rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
James.
For the moment of silence, this month we have Tricia Skinner, who used to be a resident of Delphi Falls for a while, but they have family around still. And Kate Skidmore. Welcome.
Thank you. We now have the acceptance of resignation of Martin Ardella as town supervisor effective immediately. That email. Received this morning. To all board members, town of Pompey, due to personal reasons, please accept this email as my official resignation from the role of town supervisor for the town of Pompey effective immediately. We have it.
We have to make the motion to accept,
For a second.
motion to accept the
Any
resignation.
discussion?
Seconded, everyone.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No. Accepted. Oh, I got on the agenda appointment of an interim town supervisor, but you're gonna table that, I would have guessed.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna
not-
get through this meeting. The plan is to get through this meeting and then give us a little bit of breathing room. I think everybody was surprised by the move. And the resignation by Mark, so we're gonna. Give ourselves some time to think through how we're gonna handle this.
Makes sense.
and Tom Henry is the deputy supervisor, so he's got the role of signing everything, all the business can get done, and he does not have a voting role, but everything else gets done, so we will, over the next month or so, figure out what we're gonna do.
Okay, Jim, the accountant's report?
Sure. Everybody has a copy of the reports for month of November. Firstly, the request that the board make a motion to approve the November supervisor's report.
Make a motion to approve the November supervisor report.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to approve the accountant's report. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Accepted.
Signed it, sign that to the
Yeah.
back.
No, there's five here.
Okay.
Second, we need a motion to approve the bank reconciliation for the supervisor's checking account for November 2024.
All right, I'll make a motion. We approve the checking account for the bank reconciliation November 2024.
I'll second it.
Motion made to accept the bank reconciliation for the supervisor. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Accepted.
And next, in that packet I gave you the very last sheet, there are 5 budget modifications. As we approach the end of the year, there's some accounts that are approaching their limit, so we move some things around. First, there's a modification increase the budget, the line for general legal costs. This is primarily due to, the Article 78 proceedings, so we need to increase the contractual line, the attorney contractual line by $12,000, which will come from contingency. Second is to increase the budget line for building equipment to account for higher than expected IT support costs. So this line, A1680.42 will go up by $1,000. This will also come from contingency line. Third is to reallocate the deputy codes officer wages to the codes officer line. This was discussed and I believe approved before, but I don't believe we actually made a bunch of modifications to make this happen. So this is just moving funds between the accounts. Fourth, to cover higher than expected unemployment insurance costs. You can disregard the workers' comp. That was typo. So we're gonna move $1,100 from contingency to the unemployment insurance line. Lastly, is for the highway fund. This is to reflect the use of ARPA funds for the purchase of the new Mack truck. We're gonna increase the machinery equipment line DA 5130.22 by $150,562.64. And that is going to, we're also going to increase the ARPA, the federal aid, other ARPA line, which is a revenue line, $150,560.64. So somebody could make a motion to approve those budget transfers, assuming there are no questions.
We have to do them separately or?
I think we just do it all. of them.
I make a motion to approve, the five budget modifications just listed.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to approve the budget modifications. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Accepted.
There probably will be some more modifications next month. Bills forward this fiscal year will continue to come into January, so we'll continue to monitor that. Night class, we brought in $6,900 of interest. That brings year to date up to almost $110,000 of interest income. The vast majority of our revenue is in the door. We should be receiving our mortgage tax, the final installment, by the end of this month, early January. Outside of that, revenues and expenditures look great. We're looking pretty good. That's all I have.
Great.
Thanks, Jim.
Town clerk's report.
Yeah, I'm looking for board acceptance of my November 10th, 2024 meeting minutes draft.
Okay, so, I made some modifications to some of the bills, which I think all of you have seen the revisions that I've made, so I'll make a motion to pay the bills as revised.
I'll second that.
So we're gonna do payment of bills first. You're gonna second it.
Motion made and seconded to accept the board acceptance. Report.
And that
Any
was
discussion?
So those are the payment of bills for all the vouchers.
Yeah,
Yeah, she-
Yep.
Bank reconciliation. Or payment of bills.
Payment of bills.
Any
Any discussion?
Kind of jumped ahead a little.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I still need acceptance for the November 10th meeting minutes draft.
Oh,
I'll make a motion to accept the November 10 meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to accept the minutes from the November meeting. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Say no. Carried.
Lastly, my bank reconciliation reports, I'm looking for acceptance for November 2024 for both tax collector and Northtown clerk accounts.
I'll make a motion to accept the bank reconciliation statement.
I'll
Both
second.
accounts.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to accept the bank reconciliation for November 2024. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Carried.
That's all I have.
All set? Highway superintendent's report.
Yes, sir. I have, we have an open request for proposal that comes out this Friday. To replace those 4 Bodine units in the main section. As of right now, we have one that came in, which will have to be opened on Friday. And then we're gonna have to,
So we have to have
Schedule
a
a
meeting
special
after
meeting.
Friday.
this is for. Just for a portion of their.
And this is for the heater?
Yep, the 4 heaters in the center section. of The highway department.
So bid.
They're original.
On Friday.
Yep. Well,
Is this part of what John was doing? No.
No.
Totally
This
different.
was already.
no, this is separate. Yeah,
Okay.
that's an insulation.
All right, so Friday's the 13th.
That's today, Friday 13th.
So are we trying to set that time now or what are we?
Oh,
You probably should.
We're talking about it, so. Was available when?
Friday. You want to do it Friday?
Cause it
Let's
gives.
do it Friday.
What,
What time's the bid opening?
Which,
what's the, after when? This Friday or week or when?
We do like mid to afternoon type thing.
Which day are we talking?
Friday.
Friday the
This Friday?
13th. Yep.
4.
You wanna do it?
The 4 o'clock on Friday.
4 o'clock?
I don't know if I have enough time to post that
Oh,
legal
yeah.
notice, so that's not enough time for me.
So we need
It
to-
wouldn't go into the paper until Thursday
So
if
we
I,
need, so it needs to be the week
it
after.
has to be next week.
Okay.
I can't do,
16.
the next week, I can't do Wednesday.
16 or 20.
You tell me, I'll make myself
So
available.
Friday the 20th.
No, it doesn't give her enough time. What about, you wanna do it
20th
Monday?
would be okay
Friday
with
the
the
13th doesn't give her enough time.
Right,
How many days do you need, Nikki?
at least 3.
Also, keep in mind, whenever there's a small balance of ARPA funds that has not been allocated yet.
Yeah, we need.
So whatever
Maybe
you guys,
after that.
well, whatever you guys decide to do with it, we're gonna need a little bit of time to get some quotes or get a contract. So we don't lose that by the 31st.
So just
So should we do a meeting sooner or later? Should it be the 20th?
Sooner than 20th.
As long as I have the date by Thursday, I need to get to, the paper needs notice, they post by noon, I need to have it to them by Tuesday at noon, Thursday at noon, or Sunday. So as long as I have a date by Thursday,
Thursday count as a day.
yes. This would be, well,
So can we do Monday?
count
you
Friday.
want to do it Monday?
So Monday we can do, right?
Monday,
The 20,
Monday the 16th? Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Monday the 16th,
Monday the 16th.
and then we can talk about the open bid.
You might want a little more time, I guess is what I'm thinking,
So we want to go a little later.
to find a contract for the rest of the ARPA funds.
So I think you're talking two different things, yeah.
Yeah.
Even above and beyond these monies, we
Right.
need to decide what we're gonna do with.
Can we do it all?
That's why we
Almost
should meet,
$20,000.
that's why we should meet early.
So
we
it's two
can talk.
meetings essentially, right?
Right.
Well, if you want to do
One-
meetings, then that's fine, but if you can sum them up in one, is what I'm thinking.
So if we sum them up in one, we need to do it like the Friday after.
Yes.
And we could do that all in one and that would, everything get done in time?
That's what you guys want to do with the ARPA funds.
I say, because even if we talk about it, we still got it, like you said, if it's the.
But Jim, they have to be,
And we're gonna talk
Just
about
have
that.
to be allocated, we just need to.
It'll be
No,
under contract.
contract has to be
If
signed.
order contract for somebody to do service or work.
That's subject to bid. Say. What's the?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's anything over whatever the municipal law.
Right,
is,
whatever
we'd
is
have to
pursuant to
get
the
pricing.
procurement policy.
Or use state contract,
Right.
right?
Correct.
So where are we at? I thought for the last couple of months, we've been talking about all these things we want to do. We allocated money so you could buy different equipment and stuff.
There's,
There's about
18
18,000,
grand left.
maybe a little bit less than that,
Right.
because I have to,
And then we talked about the roof and then we
yeah,
started.
we talked about a gazebo, which that's not gonna happen. We talked about a roof, there's some other things. So it's probably gonna be high 17, low $18,000 that we have residual. So
Okay,
I can also go back through and see what equipment and other things that we've purchased this year and apply that money, to that. I don't know if there's anything. Maybe there's,
you think,
but,
there might be.
That would seem to make the most
but
sense.
nothing really, jumps out at me.
Not
I
really.
think anything big that we've done, we've used ARPA for.
Did anything happen to get the signs put on the edge of like the pickup truck stuff? Did we talk to Nancy or did anything move on that?
Nancy's been busy signing our new things we got coming in, so.
good.
But we could do contract stuff for her to do the
It's
other.
not gonna be $18,000.
Well,
So
you're talking a couple $100.
Yeah, I'm just trying
So
to,
Jim, you could look.
Yeah, low hanging fruit too. I mean, if there's computer equipment that's, needed around
Yeah.
here, that's easy enough. Call the IT guy.
Yep.
I think there may have been some computers that were bought this year, but that's maybe
Yeah, it would
$1,000.
just be nice if there's something meaningful that we could think of.
That we
to
needed.
Put it for instead of just.
Yeah.
That's that's why I was thinking the 16th, give us some time to look at the review, look at the bid. And then kick around some ideas and what
Yeah,
we
that's
might want to do.
well, you wanna go longer than the 16th, you were saying.
That's 16.
16th 's Monday.
You wanna, did you wanna go to Friday?
So if there's nothing contracted for the remainder of the ARP funds, then you'll have to have another meeting. That's all there is. I'm thinking, which is
Yeah.
not a big deal because you got till the end of December anyway, so.
Yeah, and where I was going with that is just we can take care of the RFP
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
fine.
talk about what our other options are.
That's
I mean,
fine.
it'd be great if we could do it in one, but I don't think we can.
give us a few more days to pick.
So we do the 16th, then there'll be another meeting afterwards. That makes sense.
What time on this,
What time?
Bill, what time are you free?
I'm gonna be out of town. I don't know if I can dial in on
Oh.
that, so I can dial in at any time. But I can be there.
When are you back?
We start at 6 AM, so.
Yeah, I can't, I'm not, no. How about,
When do you get back, Bill?
Saturday.
how about, wanna do it at 6 o'clock on the 16th? I mean, it's gonna be shorter meeting,
6 p.m.
6 p.m. on the 16th.
Works for me.
Diana?
I don't
Let's
think I
see
have
what
any
I got.
clients scheduled, so.
It's not gonna be a long meeting.
No.
I have to pick up my daughter. 30, we should,
I think we'll be done in half an hour.
yeah, it should be short. If you wanna push it to 5:30, that'd give me hair more time. Is anybody good at 5:30?
5:30 is fine.
Let's do 5:30. That gives me time to get my daughter at 7:30.
You know, what's that?
If you could just get us the information, if I think of something.
Okay. Probably need a motion to set that meeting.
No. I don't think so.
No.
Or do we want one?
Really?
We can,
Yeah, you're setting.
yeah, so I make a motion to have a set a special board meeting for
Oh, 16.
Monday the 16th.
Monday, the 16th, 5:30.
Okay.
Second,
I'll second it.
motion made and seconded, to set a meeting for Monday, 16, 5:30. I'm sorry. This is the right date.
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
Monday, the 16th.
12:15, 5:30 p.m. for a meeting regarding ARPA funds. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye,
right.
say no. Meeting is set.
So I'm looking for board approval to pay all remaining comp time that was not used before December 1st to Hadley Wachowski, 70 hours straight time, Patrick Corcu. We had 12 hours left and Bob Purcell had 60.75 hours left.
Make a motion to pay the, what was it called?
That's comp time.
Comp time
I'll
for
second
those
this.
3 employees.
Motion made and seconded to pay the comp time for the highway employees. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, say no. Carried.
Last but not least, we did take delivery of the 6500 Chevy from Western, fully outfitted with a striker salter and a western plow on it that will be taken over down the Pompey Pines and Preserve. We're putting the bed, what year is that, Bob? An 01? 01. F550, so
Nice.
it'll be a little quieter.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah,
Jim, I appreciate that.
That's the one.
Yeah. That's
And I
awesome.
think that's all I got.
All set, VR?
I'm all set, thank you.
Okay, codes officer report. Anything here?
It's in the folder in your phone.
Just need a motion to accept the report, right?
Okay. Yep.
Make a motion to accept the code officer's report.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to take care of the codes office report. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All say no. Accepted. Town council's report.
I don't have. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you call it,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
That's okay.
We're not
No,
official
it's,
legal counsel.
it's been a whirlwind of a day. We were gonna talk about social media, but I'm gonna hold off on social media policy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say from, we had Christmas tree lighting, holiday lighting. It was a lot of fun. There's a bunch of kids making cool games and the historical society had what, hot chocolate and cider and donuts and candy and it was fun. It was fun getting everybody together.
Santa was great.
Well, oh yeah.
And Santa.
Santa and Mrs. Claus were great, but the real highlight was James leading the singing by the tree. That was the highlight of the night. Nice job.
Anybody else? Okay, my report, resolution for NYSERDA Highway Garage Grant. You wanna get to that, CR?
John can explain that better, seeing that he spearheaded that one.
John?
It's a.
John, come up on the podium, give it a whirl. Take it for a ride.
John Shaheen, Gulf Road. It's a $50,000 grant from NYSERDA. Got 3 years. BR and I have been talking about, and Bill have been talking about some things we want to spend it on envelope improvement for the highway garage, insulating, possibly replace some overhead doors. So this is the contract. Anything over $30,000, NYSERDA requires a contract, and that contract's been reviewed by Amelia, and it's based on our discussion, she's fine with it. So just looking for an approval to enter into a contract with NYSERDA.
And
We gotta
before
do
that,
that,
we'll need to do a couple
Seeker,
resolutions in Seeker.
Okay,
So.
Point us in the way.
Yes, sure. So the first action would be to resolve to set this town board as lead agency for this action. And.
that makes sense.
Yep. So you gonna do that first?
So make a motion, I'll make a motion to set the town of Pompey as lead agency for the seeker.
Okay, perfect. And so this is an unlisted action, so, what we're doing is just, we're gonna go through 11 questions. I'm happy to read the questions. The questions are a little odd. This is the entering into the agreement itself is an unlisted action, and the work the agreement is approving is type 2, so seeker's not needed for the work, but the agreement, the questions are gonna not really make sense because they're environmental questions, but we just have to work through them. So I can ask a question and then the answers are gonna be no or small impact may occur or moderate to large impact may occur.
Yep.
So we'll go through those. Once we've determined what the impact is, we'll make a resolution to that effect, and then you can make a resolution to enter into the agreement, which we have in the.
Okay.
Okay,
Do we need a second for the, make the secret thing?
Yeah.
okay, so I'll go ahead and start reading the questions and I'll do them one by one. Okay, first question, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulation? Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of land?
No.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community?
No.
Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area?
No.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkways?
No.
Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities?
No. Hopefully it's the opposite.
Yeah. Right. Beneficial effect. Will the proposed action impact existing public or private water supplies or public or private wastewater treatment utilities?
No.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historical, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
No.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources, examples, wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, and fauna?
No.
Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems?
No.
Will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
No.
Okay. So you checked no to every box, so you can make a proposal. There's no.
Negative declaration.
Exactly.
And
then this will have to be signed.
I make the motion that after going through the question, it's a negative declaration on seeker.
Perfect.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Any discussion? All in favor of Dave's motion?
Aye.
Say aye. All say no. Carried.
And then just a motion. Supervisor signing.
We'll make a motion to approve the supervisor signing the agreement for that
For the nicer.
Nice.
So the nicer the grant.
Yeah. I'll second it. Go ahead, Bill.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to accept the resolution for NYSERDA Highway Garage Grant. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye, say no. Gary,
Tom, I just have one, I don't have a second to designate the town of Pompey as lead agency.
I'll second that. I thought that's what we should do.
okay, finalize ARPA contracting, that's what the meeting is for, right? Next Monday?
Well, the RFP
Part of it.
response. Bid results and then talk about what we want to do next with the remaining ARPA. Is there anything anybody wants to talk about now? On that,
More of the ARPA. Any-
or are we just gonna wait and see what you come back with?
I don't think I'm gonna have a whole lot, honestly.
All right.
So we should probably start thinking about ideas.
So
Yeah.
what's the,
Well, we had some basic ideas, it's just that we're trying to use it
Well, we used
town money, so
Literally
keep the
99.
taxes down.
right 99% of it to buy stuff for the highway garage. We don't have to do it in the future.
Right, you know, and then we had the idea of the gazebos, which we shut down, then we also were, brought forth the idea of putting like the, veteran like flags up on the poles. I don't know how much something like that costs,
was there something with the roof or is that that's not needed, right?
Yeah, PR looked into it and I think they said it was in good shape. Right, Pierre?
Yeah, I had a contractor look at it and said it's, the only thing is the streaking that's going on there. But he did say, I mean, if you got money and you wanna replace it, then you wanna replace it, but you're not gonna do it for 18. That's for darn sure.
right,
Now, what the gazebo wasn't able to do for that amount of money either, or
No, probably not.
just trying to. You know, cause it was only, I don't know if it was really shot down, it was more of a,
Yeah.
make sure we got
we can use
every
it
other,
somewhere else.
everywhere else covered before we. Put it into that. And is there any other little, so basically he's looking, are we trying to? You know, find another small,
You gotta spend it.
Spend
Unless you
it
want to
on
write a
those-
check back to the federal government for $18,000 and change.
We don't want to do that. We'll come up with something.
Okay.
That it?
I think we didn't, just the public wants to know it. Elma's back as the deputy clerk now, that's some, Nikki's appointed, so just so the public knows, if Nikki's not here, Alma is the deputy clerk.
All right,
We're all set. Public comments? Anybody have anything to say? Now's the time.
Jim, the other sheet should be over there. And then Dave usually sets a timer on his phone
Okay, what do you do?
You call
for
them up.
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Looks like there's only
3 minutes. 3
3
minutes.
minutes. So it looks like there's only 1 minute on.
So Jim Goder,
Good evening, everybody. Jim Bunker, Pratswell Road. First of all, thank you for moving the comment period to the end of the meeting. I know it's a very contentious issue over the last couple of months so thank you for taking into account the opinions of the community. So I'm here for my monthly diatribe about light shining in my window and a few minutes ago, the board accepted the code enforcement officer's report, which again, talk about this every month, is not complete. There is a notation of violations and citations, but no detail, no information about that. And it kind of raises the question of either the board has the information and won't disclose it to the public, or doesn't care to get the information from the code enforcement officer. And I don't know which is worse, but that's where we are. And the issues still exist. The lights are still shining. The code enforcement officer, on advice of counsel, won't talk to me to discuss the complaints. what we were told last month was that because I had involvement with the Article 78 against the planning board, not against the code enforcement officer, not against the town board, against the planning board. Well, as you all know, I wasn't a party to that lawsuit. The lawsuit is on appeal. I'm not a party to the appeal. I'm not an attorney to the appeal. I'm just a guy who can't get a meeting with the town official. And as Mr. Nardella said, it's only the people around Heritage Hill who can't talk to the code enforcement officer. And you can't define discrimination or singling people out any better than that. So if council needs to be present for me to have a chat with Mr. Barrett, if that's how the town wants to spend its money, our money, then so be it. But it can't go on like this. It just can't. So I'm hopeful that with a change in leadership, maybe there will be more transparency. Maybe there will be more openness to listen to the concerns of people. So let's use this as an opportunity for a clean slate, start over, and let's sit down. And as Mr. Henry said months ago, sit down like adults in a room and have a conversation. That's all we've ever asked for. Thank you.
Thank you.
Deborah Grenier, 2010 Cemetery Road. I just wanted to bring up again about the, maybe the veterans, using money for the veteran flags or whatever they are, maybe DeRider or the neighboring town that's doing it could give you some information where to get bids or whatever you need for that project. But as far as Mr. Gosier, I think it's outrageous that he still has lights shining in his window. It's been since October. I've been coming to the meetings the third month in a row that he's come here and stood in front of everyone and asked for relief from the light shining in his window at night. It's absolutely ridiculous. What can our board do? What can our officials do to help this family who doesn't want light shining in his room every night? Why is this allowed to continue? You know, we have a code enforcement guy. He should be up there addressing it, and you guys should be behind him. You represent us, and he's one of us, and he should be getting the same treatment as every other person in this town. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Okay,
Thanks.
Thank you.
perfect. So I'm just gonna make a comment. So my understanding, Jim and Deb, is that they have been up there. They did look at the lights. The lights were black sky compliant based on the specs that were installed. And I don't know, what do you want us to do if it meets the codes?
There's been engineers have looked at it, and that's where the codes guy is basing his compliance off of engineering thing. So there has to, I think in order to, if there's someone wants to have an engineer come forward saying different, it's the engineer for the town engineer says it was compliant.
Dark sky compliant, which is what was part of the code.
So how would we know that? How would we know that if we're not able to talk to the code enforcement officer? If you saying just now that the town engineer's been involved, I don't know if anybody else in this room ever knew that. That's the first I'm hearing it. So this is, again, goes to the transparency. Why can't we have a conversation? Why can't we have access to the code enforcement officer and hear these things? And the fact that, again, we've been told that because we had a concern about a decision that the planning board made, that builds a wall between an entire group of citizens and its town officials. That's crazy. That's crazy.
So with that information being in hand and understood, what direction do you want to go with it?
I want to have a conversation with Mr. Barrett, and if council needs to be present, so be it.
But
John Duff,
he's not the guy that can make a determination on dark sky compliance. He's not a professional engineer.
You were the engineer.
Great.
Can I piggyback on that? The dark sky compliant lights that Tim showed me that were certified are hanging under the soffits on that barn.
Okay,
These lights that are shining in our window are not on the barn. They're behind the barn. And they're up high. They're not attached to the building. They're not the lights in question that have been deemed dark sky compliant. You can go up there now. I took a picture on my way up. I'd like to get a better picture to you than we've been able to, but since my neighbors have been threatened, I don't feel I'm safe going up to Heritage Hill to get a better picture so that I can show you the lights we're talking about. But
I'll go up and take a look at them. Which ones, they're on which,
they're
which
behind the
barn?
barn.
Yep.
I'll go with you.
So they're on the 91 side,
Mm-hmm,
right?
yep. On the barn where they have the, like, parties and stuff, that one?
I mean, if you drive,
Falls, you can't miss it.
if you drive up Pratt's Falls Road, I mean, it's,
Okay.
I mean, it's bright.
Okay. You got it.
And those are the lights that he was cited on and told to turn off by November 3rd. He hasn't done that. So if we could have that conversation with Tim Barrett, are these violations mentioned in the code report? Do they have anything to do with this? Did Tim follow up to make sure those lights were turned off by November 3rd? Because they weren't.
We need to have a
It's an
conversation.
ongoing problem.
The code enforcement officer.
Jurisdiction of that about us. Yes, they. That's what we turned off.
No.
Doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, talk to him.
You do whatever you want.
Well, he's been told, but.
Any more names on there?
Any more public comments?
Anything on there? No.
No other business before the board? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And seconded.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Say no. Adjourn.
All the bills.
7:08.
Nine.